Welcome to the 2025 energy forecast, and this is going to be such a powerful, also slightly chaotic year, so much so that I wrote down a bunch of notes to share with you in this video. This video and 2025 is going to be around 3 themes that I'm going to discuss in depth in this video, and I'm also going to share with you a list of powerful affirmations for you to work with these affirmations throughout 2025, because it's going to be a wild ride, and these affirmations are going to come in handy to help you stay grounded and at ease in the tumultuous energies of 2025. All right, let's go to the couch to talk about these 3 themes, because I think I need to sit down for this. Theme number 1, and this is the theme that my guides really stressed, was the idea there will be an accentuation of discord energy. So they talked about an accentuation of chaos and discord energy, and that there was a need for people to find their ground, to find their stability in themselves, precisely because there's a lot of discord energy happening. You know, if you live in the US, things are particularly problematic in the US with a lot of polarization and a lot of political divide. You know, in 2025 is going to mark the year where a new president comes in, and there's all of this extreme polarization. But even if you don't live in the US and you live all over the world, the extreme polarization is happening everywhere. And there's going to be an accentuation of this discord energy in 2025. They've given me this image before, but I really love it for this theme for 2025. It's the image of you sitting calmly in the eye of a tornado. So if you could imagine what it would feel like when you're in the eye of a tornado, it's relatively calm inside. The ravaging winds are happening is on the outside, on the walls of the tornado. That's what really destroys everything. But if you're in the eye of the tornado, it's relatively calm. And that's the image that they're giving me for 2025. For you to remain calm, centered, and very grounded, but probably more grounded than you have ever been before. Like, the image that I'm getting is the roots need to go, your roots, your grounding energy needs to go far to the point where you take those roots to the core of the planet and you actually wrap your roots on the core of the very core of the planet. That's how much your energy needs to be grounded. And it's precisely because of all of this discord energy that's happening in the external environment. All right, so that was the first theme. They talk a lot about the necessity to find your ground, but they also talk about finding your ground, but staying in your heart, which means that you're able to see the world and other people with a lot of compassion and a lot of awareness. You are aware that things are getting chaotic. You are aware of the discordance on the planet, and you're aware that these things are happening for a reason. You are aware as a powerful light worker that you're here at this time in human history to help the planet transition into a new energy, and that you need to remain grounded but also open-hearted. This doesn't mean that you're not going to have any boundaries and you're just going to let people walk all over you or mistreat you. That's not what it means to have an open heart. When you have an open heart, your heart is really powerful in exerting boundaries and knowing how to say no. But having an open heart means that I am able to see humanity with a lot more compassion and understanding, and I won't let my heart shut down and my mind harden, because if I do that, I fall into the extreme polarization that's happening out there in the world. And when I do that, I'm not going to be fulfilling my mission as a light worker. I'm only going to be making things worse. And I'm not here to make things worse. I'm here to make things better. Okay, so the guides talk a lot about this. Theme number 1, accentuation of chaos and discord energy, and our need as light workers to remain grounded, but with our hearts open and compassionate. And speaking of discord and chaotic energy, I put together a list of 20 powerful affirmations that you can work with to help stabilize and ground your energy throughout 2025. These affirmations will help you not only stay grounded, but stay also at ease, and remember that you are a light worker no matter what's happening on the outside. To download these powerful affirmations and work with them throughout the year, click on the link in the description box below of this video for that free download. Now on to theme number 2, and that is a numerology theme. So we're moving from an energy theme and kind of channeled theme to more of a numerology, a more set theme that's set by the numerology of the planet. The number for 2025, it's going to be a year 9. And the way that you come up with this is you just add the individual digits of a year. So 2025, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 comes out to the number 9. And so in numerology, 2025, the whole year is going to be kind of led by the theme of number 9. And this is really important because the 9 number, it's the end of an 8-year cycle. So you're coming to the end, and then the following year, you're back to 1, which is the beginning of everything. So 9 symbolizes endings. It symbolizes closure. It symbolizes wrapping things up. And 2025 is going to follow that theme a lot. In numerology, number 9 is the number of the mental plane. So it's the number that is associated with thinking, with the mind. And so number 9 is going to come in. It's going to be kind of add a little bit to the tumultuousness of the year, because number 9 is that number that's really powerful, pulling you into new beginnings. But before you get to new beginnings, you have to learn how to close cycles. So 9 is the number of closing cycles, but also of high-level thinking. There are 3 important things associated with the vibration of this number. One is ambition, the other one is responsibility, and the other one is idealism. So number 9 is also associated with humanitarianism, but it's also associated with ambition. So this really interesting, almost contradictory energies. It really goes with the theme of the year, because when you're in a 9 cycle, things are coming to an end. And a lot of what we're going to be working in 2025 is to start really bringing the extreme polarization to an end. I don't think all polarization is going to end in 2025, but this is a good year for us to put an end to things that no longer serve us. But it's also a year of a lot of ambition, but ambition that is more go with the flow ambition. All right. So 9 is not a great number for you to push through things, hustle, just really push and drive to get things done. That's not great for a number 9, because since it's a closing number, if you start a lot of new things and you just push through them, they may actually go nowhere, because the 9 vibration is ruling the year. So a good way for you to get things done under a number 9 year is to just go with the flow and see where the universe takes you, where life takes you, and where life naturally ends things for you. So if you see something fizzling out, don't fight it, let it fizzle out, because it's the number 9 taking that out of your life, closing that cycle that's really important for you to close. If you force yourself to continue a cycle that's meant to close, it's only going to cause a lot of suffering in your life, and it's going to deplete you energetically, and you're not going to win that war anyways, because if something is meant to leave or to exit your life, it will exit anyways, whether you fight it or not. So you might as well not fight it and just let it go, because if it's exiting your life, it's for your highest good. All right. This idea of ambition, but being measured in your ambition, but also the idea of being altruistic, of being of service to others. And number 9 is the number also of service to humanity. So this is an interesting vibration, because what it's saying is that a lot of things are happening on the outside. There's a lot of cycles ending. There are a lot of endings that people may not want to end, so they're going to be clinging on to it. There's going to be a lot of chaos outside with these endings, but you can look at this with, again, a lot of compassion, and you can help others go through this kind of ending of cycles, help them understand if they ask for your help and for your support, and hold your heart really open and compassionate under this number 9 influence. So yeah, number 9 is also symbolized by the planet Mars. This gives you, Mars is the kind of the planet of war, of conflict sometimes. And so this number 9 has that slight little twinge of vibration of conflict, but that only happens if you are fighting something that needs to be closed or that's coming to an end, and you just keep grasping or fighting for it. That's really when it's going to create some internal chaos and outer chaos for you. So don't do that with a number 9. Number 9, go with the flow, see what works well, and let everything that doesn't work well, let it go, because that's the universe telling you that the cycle of number 9 is saying that this is the end of the line with this particular thing, whether it's a relationship, a job, any cycle. You're coming to the end of a cycle, of an 8-year cycle, and take note of what feels like it's ending and needs to exit your life, and what feels like is not ending, but he's transforming into something better and new, and you could follow that energy through. Theme number 3 for 2025 is a powerful one that actually started a little bit before 2025, and that is that Pluto is entering Aquarius. This actually happened on November 19th, 2024, and Pluto will stay in Aquarius until January 2044. It's a a 20-year cycle this planet stays in one sign. Check this, fun fact. It takes 248 years for Pluto to come back to the same sign. So Pluto will not be in Aquarius again for like almost 250 years from now. It's amazing how long this takes. This is a really long cycle, a 20-year cycle. And why is this important? So even though Pluto started and entered Aquarius on November 19th, right now, as of, when I'm shooting this video and it's coming out for 2025, from November to January, it takes a while for this kind of energy change to come in. But this will be affecting our lives, not just in 2025, but for the next 20 years. This is a really long astrological cycle. And why is this important? So you have to remember this. Pluto is the Roman god of the underworld. So Pluto as a planet is responsible for the underworld. It's responsible for us, helping us go through very deep transformations, confronting our shadows, going really, really deep into the underworld and figuring out what we want to keep and what we don't. It's a very deep and sometimes a very difficult energy to work with, but it also has its pluses. When Pluto enters specific signs, it takes on the characteristics of those signs. And so Pluto entering Aquarius, we are talking about a huge expansion in technology, in learning how to think for yourself, becoming more independent. So you're going to see that theme continuing, and it's happening already, but it's going to be accentuated. You're seeing a new era where people are no longer trusting mainstream media, for instance. They're going and they're finding their own information, whether that's on YouTube or on podcasts. There's a decentralization of information, and people are coming into their power, and they are learning to go and find information that resonates with them, not just because it comes from an authority. That age is over, but they're going to look for information and see if it resonates with them, and they're going to take that as what's right for them. And this is a very, very different age than what we've been used to, where corporate media, for example, there were these power structures that ruled over people, and they just accepted the authority of those power structures. People aren't doing that anymore in the age of Aquarius. So for the next 20 years, starting in 2025, you're going to see an accentuation of people, there being a decentralization of power, and people coming into their own power and knowing how to find information that resonates with them. And Aquarius also about technological advancement. So in 2025, I know you've probably been paying attention. Even if you're living under a rock, you've probably noticed that there's an AI revolution happening around the world. That AI revolution is going to accentuate in 2025. It was already moving very, very quickly with AIs for everything now. In 2025, it's going to get more accentuated. And this technological advancement both can be good for humanity or it could be negative for humanity, depending on how this technology is used. That's always the thing with technology, with any tool on planet Earth. It could be used for the light or it could be used for the shadow, and it depends where you put your energy. But the continuation of the advancement of technology is going to continue. This theme of Pluto is really accentuated right now, and it's interesting because Pluto goes really well with the vibration of the number 9. Pluto is about you going into the underworld, but it's also about the themes of death and rebirth. So death is actually a great theme to go with the number 9, which is a number that has that vibration of ending of cycles. So Pluto and number 9 together in 1 year means that you're going to have an accentuation of death and rebirth cycles in your life in one way or another. Whether that's going to pan out big on the outside and you're going to have huge changes in your outer world, or it could be death and rebirth in your inner world, the way that you think, the way that you view life, the way that you think of yourself, the way that you envision your future. You can go through a ton of death and rebirth cycles inside of you. And I guarantee you one thing, and here's a pro tip, ding ding happening here, that by the time you reach December of 2025, the end of this year, you are going to be a completely different person than you were in January of this year. And that's because you're probably going to go through many death and rebirth cycles, and you're just going to keep dying and being reborn, dying and being reborn to newer versions of yourself, that by the time you get to 2025, you're going to be a completely new version. And it'll be interesting for you to then do an end of year review in December to see just how far you have come with these compounded energies of 2025. One last kind of little sub-theme inside of the Pluto theme is that Pluto, it is about childbirth, death, and rebirth, but sometimes it can be a little bit more than that. So Pluto can have a destructive energy to it. So Pluto destroys everything in your life that no longer serves you. Pluto reminds me kind of the Hindu goddess Kali. It's the same vibration. If you've ever worked with the goddess Kali, that's literally what she symbolizes. She comes in, the image of Kali is she's holding a decapitated head and she has a sword in her hand. And that decapitated head symbolizes the ego. It symbolizes things that no longer serve you. And so Kali comes in and she just decapitates whatever is not meant to be in your life. She has a very destructive energy, but destructive, not destructive, mean or evil, destructive in the sense that she comes in and she just cleans everything out of your life that needs to be cleaned, that needs to be destroyed because it's no longer serving you. And Pluto does the same thing. So it's really interesting, Pluto coming in with a number 9 as a double vibration, because what that is Pluto is a little bit more of an intense energy compared to 9. 9 is more flow, like, hey, cycles are going to end. This cycle is ending. This needs to die. This needs to wilt away. 9 says that in a little bit more of a easygoing way. Pluto says, this needs to die and I'm going to destroy it for you. So there's these two energies at play in 2025, the number 9 and Pluto, one of them being more on the destructive side and one being more on the just letting things fizzle away side. But both of them are going to be amplified because they're going to be together in 2025. And that's not just going to be true inside of you, it's going to be true in the outer world too. Think about it on a planetary level. Institutions, political movements, entire ways of power structures on this planet are continuing to be destroyed in this new age of Aquarius, and they're going to continue. This is the start of a huge 20-year cycle with Pluto in Aquarius, and that's going to play out really, really strongly in 2025. Aside from the free affirmations that I dropped below this video that you can download after watching this, you could work with those affirmations for 2025. I also shot this video here for you to check out next, and this video is going to help you actually get through 2025 because the video is all about how to end cycles the right way in your life. This is a perfect way for you to work through this throughout 2025 because you're probably going to have a lot of cycles to end in 2025. So check out that video for more.